Getting people off benefits and into work, it's one of any government's major tasks. But, as is the case with so many things, there are different ideas on how to achieve that. Over the past week, National signalled a raft of potential changes, all of which have drawn stinging criticism, of course, from the opposition. So what would they do? Well, Labour's social development person? Let's say spokesperson even. Jacinda Ardern joins me. Jacinda, thanks for coming in.
I'm also a person.
Yes, you are a person. Look, it is a tough one here. Paula Bennett's getting tough on those who choose the benefit over work or education. So, effectively, what would Labour do to stop people making that choice?
Yeah, I guess the first point I would make is that use of the word choice. You know, since 2008, we've had an almost 180% increase in the number of people on unemployment benefit. Now, that's not because Kiwis woke up one day and had a sudden change in attitude towards work. It's because we have had difficult economic times. And I guess what we're asking of the government is that their absolute focus should be on job creation, training and education, getting people into work, because that's what they desperately want. I mean, show me the family that would rather live on, you know, $290 a week with their family and wants that for their children, you know. Yeah,
and so the focus obviously is on this job creation, on this education creation. The government would say, look, we're rolling out high-speed broadband, we're trying to grow, we're trying to support rural growth, we're investing in infrastructure, forestry, irrigate, you know, trying to get a youth wage even to try and get more people into the workforce. So where would Labour go with this?
Well, it's interesting because I actually haven't heard the Minister of Social Development talk about jobs and the economy in all of this for a very, very long time. One of the points we've made is, well, we've got a skill shortage at the moment. We've also got a housing crisis. There's a perfect opportunity there to marry up a couple of issues. So one of the schemes that we've been promoting is the idea of transferring a dole payment to an apprenticeship subsidy for employers to take on more apprenticeships, because we desperately need that. And it actually marries into one of the other issues that the Minister has touched on but really skirted around, and that is the accommodation supplement. You might have heard her talk about this week about people who are misusing it.
This is when you've got maybe half a dozen people claiming it and living in the same house.
And that'll be a tiny minority of people, and absolutely we should deal with those rorts in the system where they exist. But we've got $1.2 billion being spent on accommodation supplements now. That's gone up from around $800 million. That's costing a lot of money for taxpayers to subsidise private rentals, because we don't have a lot of affordable housing. So again, there's an opportunity for us there to tackle a big, meaty issue rather than tinkering around the edges.
1 + 1 makes 3 then, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But at the same time, the Minister's right to say this is costing us too much. We hard-working taxpayers are having to fork out. She's right to be attacking those rorts in the system.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're saying where rorts exist, absolutely. But, for instance, the hardship grants that she's been talking about, they've gone up from roughly 280,000 hardship grants, people desperately needing extra assistance to buy food, to over 500,000 in 4 years. Now, the reason for that is because, obviously, people have fallen on hard times, can't find work. If we want to try and reduce the amount of money we spend on that, rather than trying to get cheap deals on Weet-Bix from progressives, let's actually deal with the core of the issue, which is people's inability to find work.
Absolutely. OK. Thank you very much, Jacinda Ardern, Labour's social development spokesperson. Thanks for coming in.